Okay, so let's do the refuge. Sangye cheda toye jona la janju pardo dane gezo Nage jinso nye ben nam ge dola benjire sangye chobora sho sangye chedan chaye jona la Nanju bardo dane gebzo chi danye jenso jebe sanam ye dola benjire sangye chobora sho sangye chedan chaye chonamla Chanju bardo dane gebzo chi danye jenso jebe sanam ye dola benjire sangye chobora sho Yeah, thank you. Yeah. No. So the book in English is on page number 359. It basically says the steps of the meditation on transference. So basically on how to do the Phowa, there are two steps. One is to prepare for Phowa, and the other is to actually do it. So there was two subjects, and the first one, the preparation for Phowa, that one is already covered last week. So now is the actual application of the meditation of Phowa. This one we're going to cover today. So the practice on Phowa, even though it's called the actual application of the Phowa practice, I'm not 100% sure that this can be practiced on your own without receiving a proper initiation or anything like that. But this is something that you can train yourself on, because there's some deity yoga, visualizing yourself as the deity, this and that, involved here. So for which you have to receive the proper initiation and all that. But because the words of my perfect teacher talks about the whole scope, everything from A to Z on Buddhist practices, including Phowa. So the Phowa practice is also mentioned here. And since this is not a specific or special Phowa practice, it's part of a bigger scope. The whole Buddhist practice is all there, and Phowa is one of them. So therefore, this is not a special, like Phowa specific practice. The words of my perfect master is not basically about Phowa alone. It talks about many other things, right? So therefore, as a part of the parcel, the Phowa part is also covered here. But this book is not like the you cannot just read this book and then say, okay, now I know everything about Phowa. It does not conclude everything. So therefore, okay, so this is something important. Now with this, so we will talk about the Phowa. So there are Phowa from different different methods of doing Phowa, right? Like on the Amitabha Buddha, this and that. Even though this is also based on Amitabha Buddha, but this is a Phowa coming from the words of my perfect master lineage. And so as per this particular lineage, so we will do as what it described here. Okay. So you might think, okay, why there are so many different methods for one simple practice? Because if it's a power practice, then it's a power practice. Why does the power practice from the Longzhen Yingtig and from the Gaiju, from the Nyingma, from the Hilu, or this and that, why they should be different? It's very simple. If you a very popular dish like a noodle soup, right? Everybody eats noodle soup, but then they have their own way of making the soup, and then they taste differently. But of course, essentially, it's the same soup, but then the way you cook it, how long you the boil, the broth, this and that. So the taste is different for specific community, specific background, this and that. So like that, the lineage also differs, but it doesn't mean one is right and the other is wrong. This is important to understand. Yeah. So I will not go into too much detail. I will just follow the book and then make some specific explanation if that is necessary. Yeah. So, okay. So first of all, you must sit comfortably on a cushion. So it doesn't have to be a cushion. Anything wherever you're sitting is okay. If you don't prefer a cushion, it's also fine. So here it says sit comfortably on a cushion with your legs crossed in the Vajra posture. So if you can do the Vajra full Vajra posture, full cross leg. If you cannot, we do what we call the Bodhisattva posture, which means it's kind of a cross, but not fully cross. I mean, the way most of you are sitting right now, that is semi Vajra, semi cross legged. That one. So basically, sit in a cross-legged position, very fully cross-legged or semi-cross-legged. It's up to you. But then sit in a cross-legged position, and then make your back straight like an arrow. Then we must go through the usual preliminaries. It says here. So basically, here in it says here preliminaries, mundo. So here, when they say mundo, it means the mundo as per this book, The Words of My Perfect Master, which basically you are talking about thinking on the impermanence of life, the preciousness of human life, and that we are all born in samsara. I mean, we are all born and stuck in samsara. As long as we are stuck here, our pains and suffering will continue to go on, this and that. And the only way out of this circle known as samsara is through taking proper refuge in the Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha. And so therefore, this is what we're going to do. And if I cannot, I mean, even if I become a Buddha, even if I liberate myself, that is not sufficient to liberate myself and then leave all the sentient beings, which have been my mother, father, loved one, all these people just live there like that, neglect their suffering, their plight is unthinkable. So for that reason, I will generate bodhicitta to liberate all sentient beings. So basically, that is what preliminary is all about. So here, when it says first go completely through all the preliminaries, that is what it means.
Yeah.
So then you read through the book calling the Lama from afar. Lama Gyangbe. Basically, this book is this booklet, this small prayer is recalling recalling your guru, remembering your guru, recalling his kindness, his activities, this and that. So it's a very um, uh, beautiful and very invoking kind of prayer. And when you recite that prayer, you think of the guru's kindness. So basically, guru's kindness is about what does the guru do? The guru teaches you the path to get out of samsara. So therefore, what he teaches you is about, as I said earlier, it's all about the precious human life, the impermanence, basically all these things. Basically, he tells you this is wrong, that is wrong, that is wrong, this is right, that is. So by teaching that, you become enlightened. You become uh, basically it's like he gives you the eyes to see the world, ears to hear everything. So therefore, you think of his kindness means you think of all um, the tools, faculties that he gave you, he provided you with. Even though we have ears and eyes and everything before, but we are not able to see the things as they really are. But with the Guru's advice, the Guru's instruction, we're able to see black as black, white as white, green as green. So we are able to identify things as what they are. So therefore, recalling the Guru's kindness is like that. And when you think about that, slowly and slowly, in the Dharma text, we say our heart, our mind starts melting. Our mind, our consciousness, our heart start moistening, like becoming wet. And that's why whenever we do our prayers and things like that, our eyes well up. We start getting tears and all these things. But because our heart is moistening, so the tears also come from the eyes, etc. like that. So anyway, think of your guru's kindness, etc. By reading the book, calling the teacher from afar, calling the guru from afar. This one, calling the guru from afar. So when you so basically it says Lama or the guru. In Tibetan, Lama basically means the guru. So Lama Keno, which means the guru be aware, or guru remember me. So something like that. Lama Keno, Ken means to know. Lama is guru. So guru know me. Basically, it means guru be aware of my devotion, my practice, my faith in you, and be aware of all the practices that I have dedicated, this and that. It's basically saying guru, calling the guru's attention to you. That's what it is doing. And so you say from the beginning up until the part where you dissolve yourself into the guru himself. And at that point, now you change to this instruction from the Phowa practice. Yeah. Now it says here, that's why I'm saying it's important. It's necessary to receive the initiation because you have to do visualization, deity yoga. Deity yoga means dissolving yourself into the deity. So here it says, visualize that your ordinary body in an instant becomes that of Vajrayogini. Okay, so there are three things here. One is ordinary body, one is an instant, then the other one is Vajrayogini. There are three words, okay, three key words here. So the first one is ordinary body. Ordinary body means the body that we have. So there is the in different Dharma text, they use different words. Normally, in the normal tantric practice, we use the term ordinary body. Here in this particular book, the term used was basal body, like the base, the base, like the foundation base. But in Tibetan, it's shilu, which means foundation or base body. But the translation here says ordinary body. It actually it's kind of same, but different translation. I mean, when you use a different term, there is a different connotation there, right? Even though it's the same, the meaning is same, the connotations are different. Anyway, so ordinary body means the body that we have, not just the body that we have in general, not just the body that we have before becoming a Buddha, but the body that we possess before transferring into the intermediate body. And then from the intermediate to the birth body. So ordinary body means this body, this body. So in contrast to the intermediate, which is the Pardo body, and then the birth body, which is when you, after dying, you take birth in another form, maybe like a dog or a cat. That is the birth body. So ordinary body, intermediate body, and then the birth body. Like that. So in this context, this is what the base body means. Anyway, here it's written ordinary, but in actual Tibetan word, it's shilu, which means the base body. And so the base means base, intermediate, and next, or the forthcoming body, or the forthcoming body, which is the birth body of the next life. So in general, in Dhamma practice, in Buddhist teaching, ordinary body, or ordinary means sentient beings, like not before becoming a Buddha, all our bodies are ordinary body. Our thoughts are ordinary thoughts. That's what it means here. There. But here, when it says ordinary, it's actually referring to the base body, as I said. And so base means this life is the base body, this life is the base life, this body is the base body, and then there is the next body, or the next life, and then there is an in-between, which is the pardo, intermediate. This life, next life, and then in-between, the intermediate. So like that, 3 births, 3 lives, or 3 bodies are there. So therefore here, ordinary body does not mean the body of a non-Buddha, someone who is a sentient being like us. It basically means the body consisting of this life, as contrast to the next life, or the pardo life, like that. So the next keyword is in an instant. So in an instant means just like that, randomly, right? But for something to happen randomly, it has to happen gradually. So there is no such thing as like real randomness. Nothing is random. Everything comes from cause and condition. So therefore, even though it says instantly, it does have a causational. It does have a causing factor. So therefore, that causing factor is, so before you come to this practice, you have already done the calling guru from afar. You have already done any form of deity yoga already done. So when you do the deity yoga, you have already created or generated the form of the deity already. So that deity form is already created, and it's put on hold. And when it says in an instant, it means you turn into that image or that vision which you have put onto hold. So it's not like something that comes out of the blue from nowhere, but it is the one that you have created yourself, the deity that you have projected yourself. So you turn into your projectional deity. That's what it means by turning it into, in an instant, you become a Vajrayogini. So this is what it means by in an instant. So even though it sounds random, it's not random. Oh yeah. Then you become Vajrayogini. So Vajrayogini, I will not explain. I mean, I will just go with the instruction here, not go into too much detail. So Vajrayogini is, last time I sent a picture. So if you have that, you're gonna refer to that. And anyway, so Vajrayogini, so you become Vajrayogini in an instant. So Vajrayogini is red, with 1 face and 2 arms, standing with her 2 legs together. Her right foot raised in the walking posture, as if she is going somewhere. And her 3 eyes, she had 2 eyes and 1 eye on the forehead. So 3 eyes are looking upward to the sky. For the purposes of these instructions of Phowa-Transference, visualize her with an attractive expressions at once. So usually Vajrayogini is very wrathful, like extremely wrathful face. But for the Phowa practice, for example, in order to transfer, in order to get close to someone, if that person is extremely wrathful, you cannot get close to that person. So it has to be have some sort of a smiling, attractive expression there. So in order to, because it's supposed Vajrayogini is going to lead your consciousness, or basically lead you from this to the intermediate, basically transfer your consciousness from here to there. So she is going to be the more or less like the chauffeur, the driver, to take your consciousness from this to the Pure Land. So therefore, she has to be attractive. So she cannot be too wrathful. Usually she is very wrathful, but here she is wrathful with a slightly peaceful expression. Basically, we usually call this smiling, angry with a hint of smile. That's what we usually call it. So angry, but with a hint of smile. But that smile is not smile of malice, not like cunning or wicked thing kind of smile. But it's angry, but at the same time, a little bit of smile is there. So it's like it's a very angry, very some women or men can be uh, very aggressive in their duty, their work, this and that. But at the same time, if they have to pay attention to some people, they just smile a little bit, but then usually they're focused on their work, not necessarily just smiling to everyone, say hello like this, right? They just focus totally on their work. So like that, Vajrayogini is something like that. She is totally focused on her work to take people from here to the Pure Land. And that's why she has an aggressive face. But at the same time, in order to not to scare you away, she is showing a slightly smiling face to you. So that is what it means by once peaceful and slightly wrathful. This is the name of the expression. So her right hand is in the air, and she plays the drum, the rattles, the skull drums made from the human skull that awakens people from the sleep of ignorance. And with her right hand, she holds the dagger, which the curved knife, or the dagger, the curved knife, sorry, curved knife. Curved knife, you can see if you come to like India, you will see the women, fisher women, they use this to cut the fish like that. Anyway, so the curved knife, it cuts or severes the three poisons, anger, hatred, the anger, attachment, and ignorance, like that. So she's holding the curved knife on her left hand. Yeah. So the usually Vajrayogini is left hand, holds the Kadamka in the left hand, so that's different. But here Vajrayogini is holding the Damaru on her right hand, looking up at the sky like this, playing the Damaru to the sky. Then the left hand is similar to the usual posture. So turning downwards near her hips. So the curved knife is near her hips. So anyway, that's cuts the three poisons. Then she's fully naked. So naked means no cover up, no pretense. Everything is what it is. You see, what you see is what you get. The real thing. That's what it means by nakedness. Except for the flowers, some flowers, and then ornaments of bone that she wears, which actually signifies the channels within one's body. So except for basically she is completely naked. Except for the ornaments that she's wearing, she's completely naked. Yeah. So even though we visualize Vajrayogini as a very fierce, aggressive, strong, angry, and violent, all these imaginations, all these visualizations were done. But at the same time, even though she appears, appearance-wise, she projects herself like that, but in reality, she is empty. She is void. Okay, she is void of any substantial reality. So something, for example, like a red tent, because Vajrayogini is red color, so red tent. So if you look at a tent from a very far away, it looks like a very big sort of object, big structure is there. But then once you get closer and closer, and then you open the tent, there's nothing inside the tent. The tent itself is, even though it looks big, it's empty, nothing there. Unless you put furniture, things inside there. The tent, even though it looks big, it's hollow, it's empty inside. So like that, Vajrayogini, even though appearance-wise, like in old time, they used the example of tent. But today's time, a good example would be a movie theater. So the projection comes and everything is displayed on the screen. But then if you go and touch them, then none of those things exist. So like that, Vajrayogini also does not exist in that sense. Even though it appears to us, it is real in the sense that it appears to us, but it's not real in the sense that it actually is there. Even though if you project Vajrayogini on the screen, it will appear there, but of course there is no Vajrayogini on the screen. Like same with Buddha, anything like that. So like that, appearance-wise there, reality-wise not there. So there and not there at the same time. So you see that duality or the non-duality, being there and not being there at the same time. So that sense of being there, not being there, it's a form of emptiness. So this is not a very subtle form of emptiness, but it's a more grosser form of emptiness. And this is called outer empty enclosure, or basically outer form of empty nature. Outer, not the inner one. Now, this is the outer enclosure or the outer emptiness. Basically, it leads you closer and closer to the actual emptiness, the reality, ultimate truth. But they're called different emptiness, this and that. So it gets you closer and closer. So now, in the center of your body, I've actually sent some images in the group. So there's one man sitting, and with three channels or pipes running down his body. So there are three channels, are white on the right side and red on the left side and blue on the center. So in the middle. So that blue, the blue channel in the middle. So that channel is the size of, I mentioned it last time, like the bubble tea, boba tea. So it's like the size of a boba tea straw, the pipe. So it runs all the way from the tip of your genitalia or from your secret parts to all the way up to the opening at your crown, like that. So today we're going to focus on that one because that is what we are going to transfer. So that channel, which looks like a boba tea straw. So it's blue in color, okay? Blue color, the color of sky. And it's very straightforward. So because you're also sitting straight, like an arrow, that central channel, Avaduti, it's called in Sanskrit. So the central channel is also very straight from the secret parts to all the way up to the crown.
Yeah.
Like a pillar of a house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then that central channel has four characteristics, four qualities. The first one is it's blue in color, the color of indigo flower. That signifies, which is also like the sky. That means the unchanging Dharmakaya. Basically, the sky never changes, even though there's cloud, there's many things going on, but the nature of the sky always remains the same. So like that, blue is unchanging. And the fabric or the texture of the central channel, not strong like the boba tea straw, but very weak, tennis, or so like a petal, rose petal or lotus petal. A flower petal, when you touch it with your bare hands, that it starts to whittle. So like that basically means the wheel of obscurations coming from our habitual tendencies, even though it appears strong, but if you tackle them, it can be, whittled, like that. Now it's also illuminated like a lamp. That means it leads away from the ignorance.
Yeah.
Away from the lower path, the wrong path. It is luminous. That means it leads away from the wrong path. It's luminous, illuminating. That means out from darkness, or darkness of ignorance. It is straight like an arrow, which means it is takes to the straight path, not to the wrong path. Yeah. So the central channel, the fabric of central channel, also very fine, very thin, like a rose petal. Remember? So that is also like the Vajrayogini, even though it's there, but it's also like not there. Very easy to break down. So that is also a form of emptiness, empty nature. So this is called the inner empty nature.
Yeah.
Now, by your heart, by the position of your heart, or so basically at your chest, a little bit above your chest, visualize the bindu. Bindu means spot. It's a Sanskrit word. Bindu means the spot. You might have seen many Indian like ladies. They have a red dot on their forehead. Remember? You might have seen. Many of you have seen. So that dot is called bindu. Basically, it means the spot. So at the by your chest, the central channel around the position of your chest, visualize it start to swell and becomes bigger. And as it starts to swell, by that central channel, visualize the bindu or the spot of energy. Okay, basically any energy that you have within you. So that energy is now expressed in the form of a green orb, green light, green. That spot which basically is your energy is now being expressed as a green light, green orb. So on on top of the bindu, so this is the bindu here. So on top of the bindu, visualize your consciousness or your mind or your mental stream, like that. And your consciousness, your mind, is in the form of letter Shi, red Shi. Okay, let me share the picture to here. Okay, so that's the letter Shi. Okay. So the letter Shi in Tibetan, the letter Shi is there, and then on the back side of the letter Shi, behind the letter Shi, there is two dots. This two dot does not appear in the Tibetan alphabet. It's actually a Sanskrit alphabet, and so we borrowed that, and those two dots basically refers to Visarga, which means it basically by itself doesn't have a sound. Okay, it doesn't have a sound of its own. It's a part of the Sanskrit alphabet. So it's part of the Sanskrit um, consonants. Sorry, vowels. It doesn't have a sound of its own, but when you put it behind another sound, whatever sound it's making in the beginning, it extend it. So basically, if I said ah and put it there, then it becomes ah. If I put she and put that visarga there, it becomes shri. Like so, it extends whatever is being said before it. Yeah. In any case, um, that two small circle, represents compassion and method. Sorry, method and wisdom, compassion and wisdom. And so it's fluttering, like, you have seen the prayer flags, Tibetan prayer flags, when there's wind, it just flutters in the wind like that. So it's fluttering. Basically, it means the activities of compassion and wisdom are flowing, yeah, constantly. So then above your head, so this tree represents your mind, or basically it's you. Okay. Then above your head, visualize on a jewel throne held up by 8 peacocks. Okay. Great peacocks. Upon the peacock, there is a multicolored lotus, and on the multicolored means blue, red, yellow, different color, not just white. And then on that, there is the sun disk. On the top of sun disk, there is the moon disk, moon cushion or sun cushion, you can say. So on the sun cushion, there is a moon. Sun and moon basically represents method and wisdom, and one upon another like that. So on this 3-layered cushion, the cushion of lotus flower, sun, and moon, right? There sitting is the embodiment of all the Buddhas, which is basically Amitabha Buddha. Um, Amitabha, basically it's your own root guru, but in the form, in the appearance, in the form of Amitabha Buddha. So your guru appearing as Amitabha Buddha is there. He's red color and very bright. One face, two hand rests in the gesture of meditation, both hands in meditation, and then holding the alms bowl filled with nectar of immortality. Then he is clad in the three monastic robes. Basically, the monastic robes are the full, complete robes a monk wear in the attire of a supreme Nirmanakaya or the emanation body. And he has the 32 major marks and the 80 minor signs with the Ushnisha or the crown and everything in brilliant order like that. On his right is Avalokiteshvara, Jerisik, I sent the picture. And on his left is, Jerisik is for compassion. And on his left is Vajrapani. And the Vajrapani is the holder of power, holder of potential. So this ensemble of your guru in the form of Amitabha and then Vajrapani on the left and Jerisik on the right. So this is the main sort of deity there, which is your main focus point. And around them, these three principal deities form all the other lineage gurus, the lineage gurus, lineage masters, lineage gurus, teachers of the profound teaching of Phowa. All the teachers gather around, like crows flying over, let's say, a dead body, right? Or vultures soaring around a dead body, like that. So all the gurus are floating around like that. And then to this, you turn to them and pray to them with pure devotion. And they also look at you lovingly, with compassion, and with a heart to listen to your plight, to listen to your aspiration, listen to your prayers, like that, very lovingly and caringly. So the next is now to actually project your consciousness from the heart, from your heart, to the Pure Land of Amitabha. But unfortunately, I have to cut my class session here for today, and we will continue to pick this up next week. Just get familiar with the idea of the central channel, and then thinking of your mind, your consciousness as the letter Shi, the blue Shi, etc., like that. So get familiar with this idea for now, and then next week we will start on how to eject or how to transfer your mind or you from this body to the next or to any destination. Dedication, yeah. Chanjo semjo rembo che ma ye banan ge yoro je ke ba nyamba me bara kone kondo pe wara sho inge wa ndi nyo do da lama sangye Jowa che kyang ma le ban ke ye sa la ge bara sho mi me zebe ter jen jen de se te me kembe wong jambe yang de wong ma le jom ze sang me an jen ke be zo yen zong ga ba lo san cha be sha Zawande tembe nimbo zembe benga shin nama doyu gun la chanju lapsan chuji jamzu chogun do denge do jen tambar Zawande. Okay, thank you. I will go now.
Thank you, Rinpoche. Have a safe travel.
Thank you, Rinpoche.